What is happening, you guys? It's your boy LDAWB coming at you with a unique video. This is going to be a little different than my typical videos. This video in particular is going to be a vlog or a journal of this long process that has everything to do with this particular game that you see on the screen. If you don't know what that game is called Crisis Core Reunion, and I am ecstatically hyped for this game. And so in celebration for this game, because I'm a huge FF7 fan myself, I've decided to journal this as a ensemble or mural piece for Crisis Core. So hopefully this works. But to kind of give you a little bit of a background, I've done murals before, and this is aesthetically what I'm trying to achieve with this picture or this process. I love murals. I love telling a story through an ensemble of pictures and characters, and I've done them before many times, and they were a long process and very fun to do, but extremely detailed, extremely in depth in terms of story, in terms of trying to make sure that it's smooth. And so this particular project, and this is really something that I'm really trying to do, is I'm trying to do that same mural for Crisis Core, but not draw it, but make it 3D. And if you hadn't noticed, I mean, if you check the thumbnail, you can see that it's in full 3D. Now, normally I would do this in a drawing aesthetic, but I felt too safe with that approach. I felt like it wasn't challenging enough, and so I'm deciding to again journalize this entire process. And this is one of 7 parts that I'm going to do, and this is kind of an accountability on my end to make sure that I finish everything properly, and at the same time put some pressure into finishing this. And the goal is to finish this before the game's release, so hopefully it turns out. So if you hadn't already, check out a reel of the first part on my Instagram. And yeah, I've done the first part of what is one of 7. If you hadn't checked it out, here's the reel for the first part. And yeah, this is a significantly very symbolic piece for me, going full circle. I've done an illustration back in 2021, so this was kind of going full circle, wanting to mirror an image that I'd done at that time. And yeah, so right here, this last piece is significant, or that last scene is very significant, as you can see, and I'll show it to you a little bit later. So here are the stills, again trying to capture the Embrace Your Dreams de facto, which was heavy and super significant in a lot of previous drawings. And here are the stills for that. It's all on my Instagram, check it out. I'm going to just post there, but I'm going to exclusively talk about the in-depth process here. So this is kind of an unorthodox situation. Here's the parallel here, going full circle. This was a significant thing for me, to challenge myself, and to go a little bit further past my comfort zone, and then see making this the actual full-fledged first 3D mural that I've ever done. So hopefully I'm able to achieve that with this. So we'll see what happens. So again, this is the first part. This is me, just getting a flow, getting a plan. The first thing is trying to establish an aim or a goal in terms of what I was wanting to achieve. I didn't want to just put a bunch of characters together. I wanted to actually make this significant, symbolic in a way. And so this pose from Zach was symbolic to me, and it meant a lot to me. So I wanted to convey a picturesque, muralistic view of the elements from the story. And I appreciate my patrons. Appreciate you guys so much for choosing and voting what direction to take. But here I am here having ideas, watching Crisis Core, playing Crisis Core, and remembering all the significant scenes and writing them all down. As you can see, it's not perfect. I'm showing you all this. It's cringy. But it's necessary. This is all, again, part of the planning. You have to kind of set your precedents and set a direction. And I feel this is aesthetically important here. So just writing ideas. Obviously, my approach is so cluttered and cumbersome and all over the place. But here is the second kind of approach to this. And obviously I have the Buster Sword the wrong way, but I wanted to really talk about how significant this is for a second. For this was kind of where I was wanting to go with it aesthetically. And I didn't want to do the typical approach of, again, putting the characters together and doing what I normally do. I wanted it to be unique, and I wanted the picture to almost tell a story in the sword, in the Buster Sword itself, and kind of reflecting how important that sword is in retrospect to Cloud, in retrospect to Angel, and really the approach of embracing your dreams. So here I am going wild, right? Thinking, oh man, if I just go all the way to the top, I can just draw all kinds of crazy stuff. I don't know about this. I don't know about this process yet, to be honest with you, because it's so ambitious and so big, and I don't know how to even go that far, but I'm still thinking about it. But this is kind of the closest kind of scribble draft of where I was trying to go, or rather where I was wanting to encapsulate in terms of elements from the story. I have Sephiroth and the sword, as you can see, and I have Angel at the top, and then I wanted to make sure Aerith was in there. I wanted to make sure key characters were in there as well, like Genesis, and again, telling the story. So after scribbling it, I went ahead and went to Cinema 4D and did a poor man's rendering of Zack, as you can see here. And then here's the first draft and the second draft. And of course, taking screenshots of different things in the story. So I have Angel, and then I have Angel helping Zack, and then, or rather Zack and Aerith. Then I have Sephiroth, Zack second class, I'm not sure. Cloud with the Buster Sword, which was significant. Sephiroth in the library, learning about his origins, and then the dumb apple. I'm not sure what that's called, and then Genesis. So I know that's a lot. I know that's kind of going way out there, but yeah, I'm really interested in seeing where this goes, because the funny thing about this is that this can change. This layout can change. And it could be anything. It could be taking the drawings that I've done before in regards to Final Fantasy VII and Cloud and Zack, because I've done so many Cloud and Zacks. it could go in the direction of rendering 3D images of Zack and Cloud. So just so you know, and so you guys can see that this process of planning is just as important as the technique, the craft, the finalizing of details and drawings and coloring and all that stuff. The planning is probably the most important thing to do, because you have to sell the audience the story, and you have to make them curious enough to pay attention to your drawing. And so this whole process is significant, and I think that starting off in this way or in this fashion is significant, and hopefully it can kind of give you somewhat of an in-depth look on my process. So this is the first process I have. So my plan is to do this process, or this render rather, and then go with Angel and Zack, and then, as you already saw with the mural going down, is to render those in 3D in 7 parts. No pressure, right? So anyways, I'm doing all this because I'm so ecstatic for Crisis Core. I'm a Crisis Core fan. I love Zack Fair. He's like one of my favorite characters, or video game characters of all time. So hopefully this gets pulled off good. We'll see. And that's it. I appreciate you guys for listening to me and seeing this unique process. Appreciate you guys for coming along for the ride. And I'll keep you posted on everything. Follow me on Instagram to see everything. And yeah, watch out for part 2. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.